whole crew up here, looking good. And we know you guys are regular at the meeting attendance. The kids are always prepared well, nicely for the meetings, and as well as for the ministry. So we set a nice example for the rest of the congregation. And so we're going to get right into our part here this evening. The first thing that comes up is, what do you do for your family worship evening?
Mostly, one time we built Noah's Ark. You know, we had it cut out a door and cut out a lot of windows all around. And I hate to give it away, but Paul was there too.
All right, sounds like fun.
We watched Caleb and Sophia videos.
Oh, the videos. Okay, all right, very good. So there's some diversity there in your family worship night.
Yeah, I really like all the variety that's out there, and we really try to utilize all the suggestions that we have out there. But one of the things that sometimes I like the most is just keeping it simple. Sometimes there might be something that we need to work on, or a question the kids have, and so we'll just read a couple scriptures and then just reason on them with the kids. And I really like this. It gets Jehovah's view on things, and it gets the point across.
And sometimes we'll prepare for our meeting parts.
That's
this one. Our last family worship, that's what we did. We prepared for this part. We sat down and went over the questions and asked the kids, let them answer in their own words, and then that's what they came up with. So, but also one of my favorite things that we do reenactments. We'll take a Bible story out of the Bible story book, and we'll reenact it as a family. And we try and pick one with a lot of dialogue and a lot of action in it, so we can all get involved. And it's fun because it allows the kids to sound that story down in their minds a little bit better and remember it a little bit better when it comes to life like that. But like Jen said, mostly just keep it basic and simple. Always ever changing.
All right. And that's been reflected in their comments too. We can see too that some of the comments that they make at the congregation level, you can tell that they understand that story, and so that's really good. It's working. So, how do you determine what you're going to discuss then for your family worship?
A lot of times I'll just go to the website. I'll see what's new on there. They're constantly updating the website, so that gives me a lot of good ideas as to what to come up with. A lot of times I will just kind of through the week listen to what the kids talk about, maybe what Isaac talks about coming home from school. A lot of times their prayers are very insightful. You can hear what they say in their prayers. I know numerous occasions after he's done with his prayer, I'll say, so this was what you were thinking about, and we talk a little bit. I said, maybe we'll talk about that for our next family worship. So just listening to what they have to say. And then a lot of times too, Jen, she'll give me some tips as to what the kids were talking about while I was away. So we'll come up with a plan together, and we'll decide what to do for our family worship that way.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, a couple months ago, we noticed some behaviors that needed to stop. And so, when the constant badgering wasn't working,
You don't have behaviors.
we decided to have the family worship on self-control. So we went over a couple points that we had researched on Watchtower Library, and we talked about it. And then we helped the kids make a self-control chart. And so every time they felt like they were going to do this behavior, if they stopped themselves, and we kind of reenacted that on how they could do that, but if they stopped themselves and did something else, we gave them other choices they could do, they'd get a sticker on their chart. So it was really cool to be able to come up with that, and we could see it working. It was very effective.
All right, so that family worship evening ran all week. That's good. That's good. How's it your family worship night then? Let me just ask this first. What tools have you used from the GW org? I know you use a computer quite a bit.
Mostly on the computer, we connect it to the TV, and then it puts power to the TV, and then the TV does the same thing as
Songs, okay. Very good. That's right, we got that. That's right. You practice the songs. That's good.
Well, speaking of songs, I recently found they have a couple, they have sheet music for a couple of the kids' songs. Giving Makes You Happy and Pray Anytime. And so I've been kind of having fun with that, trying to learn them on my guitar, and sometimes I'll get stuck on a chord, and the kids will like keep singing it. So they're learning it. It's fun to see them really sticking with them, and they're learning it, and it's just a kind of a fun, different family thing to do.
And then one thing that we use quite often is the printouts that you can get from the children's tab, I believe it is, but you can color in pictures, do connect the dots. There's one where they have you read a scripture, and then they show you a picture and they ask you what's wrong with that picture, and I like that one a lot because the kids are listening to the story that's going on and trying to figure out what's wrong in the picture. I really like that because their focus is right on the Bible. So we use that quite often, and we all enjoy coloring the pictures. But then, like Isaac was talking about, there's those animated Bible stories that are like a comic strip almost, and we like that too because you read through the story and it's associated with different pictures, and so we use that quite often also from the website.
Okay. So you can see so far that they use quite a range of areas where they can go to get their information for their family worship nights. So we want to remember that too for ourselves. The other thing we want to consider is how your family worship helps you in the ministry.
Well, it helps us quite often. Sometimes we'll do practice sessions like it's recommended to do. We try to make that fun. Somebody will go in the bedroom and shut the door. They'll be the householder, and then we'll take turns doing our practice sessions. We try and do that a lot of times during the campaigns that we have so that the kids get more involved. They come up with a presentation. But really all of us benefit when our presentation's more in our mind for that week because we practice it for family worship. But that's one way it's benefited us for the ministry.
Two, we'll occasionally work on teaching the kids a scripture, help them try to memorize it. And so then when we're on one of our calls, we'll have them tell the scripture to the call. And so that way they're starting to get to know their Bible. It's like as the Bible's their authority, the important thing, and they're also learning how to talk to people in the ministry. So that's been fun to see.
Okay, good. I know, speaking and talking to different ones in the ministry, that the young ones definitely do that. I recall last fall, I believe it was, we were at a return call of Jason and Jen's, and as Jason and Jennifer were talking to the gentleman out in the front yard, his wife was in the garden working, and Isaac knew her, and so she called him out there, and he went out there with his book bag and his literature with him, and before you know it, he was going through his presentation and placed a tract with a woman at the garden. So all on his own, he went out there, and so he was well prepared for the ministry, so it's a nice example in that regard. Good job. How do you manage to keep other activities from getting in the way of your family study?
Well, sometimes if it's been a long day, it's hard. We're tired, and it can be a challenge. But the main thing is we try to get something in, something spiritual in. So usually what we'll do if it's that kind of a night, we'll just put a video in and enjoy that, and then try to talk about it and apply it a little bit afterwards. As long as we can get something in.
Yeah, honestly, it's not always easy, especially with work, things like that, trying to schedule it in. We try to keep it the same night, all the time, but even if it's a little late sometimes, it might get to late in the night, and we still have to do family worship. So, but there have been occasions when something's coming up, we know something's coming up, the circuit overseer's visit, for instance, because ours is usually on Tuesday night. So when that happens, or family's coming in, or we're going away, we usually reschedule it to another night. That's a rare occasion. We don't like to do that, but that way we know we get it in every week. But other than that, we try and stick to the Tuesday night schedule.
All right, very good. So, how have you benefited from your program?
mom and dad say it's time for family worship, and when they call it family worship, I say yay because we do cool activities.
He says yay, figure that. That's good.
Watch new videos.
You watch the new videos, very good. That's right. That's right, very good.
Yeah, you know, it's not always easy to get family worship going sometimes, but once we do, it feels so good. It feels good to get it started and get into it, and then it's just so worth it when we see the kids being excited about it, like, you know, Isaac saying yay, that, you know, I don't really remember doing that when I was a kid, but, no offense, Mom and Dad, but, so it's really neat. It's so worth it when that happens. It, you know, makes learning about the Bible fun, and then it really sticks with them. They remember it, and so it's been really rewarding.
And I like it because it gives us a chance to talk, you know, and we're talking about spiritual things, so it obviously is going to draw us closer together. I mean, I love that aspect of it. You know, we just sit down and we have a nice evening together. Even if we're not having a great day, we usually enjoy family worship together. We usually have a good time. And we notice too, another benefit is when we take something and we simplify it to teach it to the kids, it helps us better too. I mean, when you have to explain something a little more complex to, you know, a 4- and 6-year-old, it makes it simpler in your mind. So there's so many benefits, and there's nothing bad from family worship. Nothing bad that you can say about family worship. And so if that's the case, how can you not benefit from it?
All right. Thank you, Rosums. Appreciate it.